Yes. It will be done.
Ah, it's the Warden Commander. The rumours about you did not overstate it. I have a business proposal. Look for me by the house near the gates. I promise it will be worthwhile.
Of course.
They used to display the heads of traitors over that gate. I suppose my father is lucky his didn't end up there.
Hey, what are you staring at? Looking to start something? Oh, here to investigate the chasm, are you? It's about time. I can't take all the credit for finding the rift, you know. Mika here fell in first. Well, it's quite a ways out of town. We were tracking a buck off in that direction, you see, before this darkspawn mess. We'd been on his tail for about a week at that point. I'd wager he thought it was great fun leading us on a merry chase as he did. That buck was a sly one, he was. He had big feet and a... Oh, the chasm, yes. We saw it coming over a rise. It was really something to behold. A huge cleft, as though the Maker himself had cracked the earth in two, like an egg.
I like eggs.
It looked like someone had tried to build over it, but it must have been abandoned a long time ago. No one in town knew about it. Well, of course, we had to investigate. That was when Mika fell in. A shriek like you wouldn't believe, and he was gone.
Earth crumbled, not stable.
Right. And as Mika lay there yelling about his knee or his head or what have you, the darkspawn appeared. They seemed occupied, like they had someplace really important they had to be. Didn't notice us at all, thank the Maker.
The Darkspawn was so occupied as to overlook two screaming injured men. Boggles the mind.
I marked the chasm on my map so we could avoid it, but sounds like you want to know where it is, so here you go. So, we getting anything for our trouble? A whole sovereign. If there's ever a reason to fall into a darkspawn pit, here it is. Make a bless you.
What if the darkspawn?
My pardon, sir. I was paid a whole sovereign to give this letter to you. I told him I did. There are easier ways of getting a message to the Commander of the Grey. Of course, Commander.
Excuse me, but I need to search your packs for smuggled goods. But I have to. Constable's orders. We've been having trouble with smugglers and...
What are you doing, man? Are you accusing the Commander of the Grey of smuggling?
But you said everyone...
You are dismissed. I apologize. Smugglers and thieves have all but taken over the city. Yes, Warden Commander. The smugglers have us scrambling, to be honest. We could certainly use your help in this. Come speak to me later if you're interested.
Yes.
Ah, can you smell that?
That is the smell of freedom. It comes complete with the smell of dogs and dust, but the freedom is in there too. I may not have a choice about fighting the Darkspawn, but this is a step up for me. I escaped from the tower 7 times. After the last time, they put me in solitary confinement for a year. Eventually, I'm sure they would have branded me a Maleficar, true or not, and executed me. Well, sure, now I am. Don't think the irony is lost on me. The problem is that mages are tolerated, barely. It's like you need permission to be alive. There's nothing a mage can do to prove himself. Everyone needs to be protected from you. The end. I should certainly hope so. All I want is a pretty girl, a decent meal, and the right to shoot lightning at fools. See? I knew you understood. Never mind me. Now and again I recall that I'm not sitting in a cell and I have to smile, that's all. I once knew someone who bought a piece of Andraste's shin bone in the Amaranthine market.
Delilah? Is that really you?
Nathaniel, I had feared the worst.
Times must have been hard, Delilah. But you can do better than this. Come back to the estate until we find somewhere else.
What? Oh, Nathaniel, I didn't marry Albert out of desperation. I adore him. I was so glad to get away from Father's evil. This life is so much better.
Father's evil? Isn't that overstating things a little? He got caught up in politics.
You weren't here. You didn't see what he did, Nathaniel. You want the culprit who destroyed our family? It was him, without question.
I had no idea.
Of course you did. But you always worshipped Father, right from when you were a little boy. Come, brother, let us sit and catch up a bit, shall we?
She said she wants me to come back, once all this is done. Meet her husband. She's due by the spring. She seems happy. She said Father deserved to die. I still can't believe it. I thought he had his reasons. It was a war for Andraste's sake. Before I went to the Free Marches, he was never... How could he have changed so much? What if I'd never left? I didn't have much choice, but still. I wish I'd known some of this sooner. I feel like such a fool. Now please, let's get back to our business. I need to think. Ready. Immediately.
As you say.
What do you want?
Warden Commander! Thank the Maker you're finally here. I was afraid our messages never got through to you. Yes. Thank you for coming to the Guild. We need your help. Our caravans are being attacked. The wagons are burnt to ashes, and there have been no survivors. It's gotten worse lately. People from the neighbouring villages have found guards torn limb from limb and left in the village square. I don't know. How would I know the minds of these monsters, whoever or whatever they are? Whatever it is, it's completely crippled trade between Amaranthine and Denerim. No one wants to travel the road through the Wending Wood. Can the Grey Wardens help at all? Others start making excuses when they hear how brutal the killings have been. The Grey Wardens are our last hope. Oh, Maker, bless you and watch over you. If you can stop the killings, the Merchants Guild will make a hefty donation to your organisation. You have my promise.
Greetings, Warden Commander. You're the sort who delights in helping the common man, yes? May I direct you to the Merchants Guild's board? Folk here often need goods from far-flung parts. They post the requests here. There is good coin in this, particularly with trade halted by the trouble on the roads. If you ever feel inclined, please take a look at the jobs available.
As you say. Very well.
So good to see you again. It seems I owe you a reward, yes? Yes, of course.
I see you got my letter, Commander. It's an honor to meet you. In the flesh. The less you know of me, the better. But by some, I am called the Dark Wolf. In the depths of the city, there is murmuring. Murmuring that nobles want you dead. I'd like to help. You are? I thought perhaps the first Dark Wolf was killed or imprisoned. You must admit that your current position does not leave time for shadow games. You see, I have hopes that the Wardens will prove more fit to rule this land than the late Earl Rendon Howe. His confederates are the conspirators. But to unearth their identities, I'll need resources. 50 sovereigns. Corrupt, miserly nobles have beggared many a proud commoner. Some commoners turn to distasteful occupations just to survive. Is it not fitting that they would want to strike back in the only way they're able? It will be done. Give me some time.
That's a strange place to store a pitchfork.
How do the Templars always find you, Anders?
Incredibly angry. That's how they find me.
There must be some trick to it, surely.
They began recruiting women. The male Templars never stopped to ask for directions.
You're impossible to talk to.
I do my best.
So, you think there's an apothecary around here somewhere? Well, yeah, I don't want to bother you with this, you being my boss and all. I've tried those, but they only stop the itching for a few hours. Right. Look, for the past few days I've had this burning rash. The skin's actually got a sort of greenish look to it. You know, I bet it's that Grey Warden stuff we had to drink. I'm special. Yeah, I'll just see if I can't find some nice minty balm somewhere in this town.
I hear Hubert's gang got their hands on some moonshine. You think they'll sell some to me?
Hubert hates you.
That's a no, then.
Of course. Yes.
No!
Something I can do for you, friend? And who are you supposed to be that's asking? Oh, welcome, my lord. Haven't seen that fellow Christoph for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while. Not much. He chatted up Sorsha a bit when she brought him his dinner. Maybe talked to her. Of course. Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
I'm here.
What can I get for you, friend? Come back soon.
We should...
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger? And here I was, thinking how I never get hit on by the clientele. Perhaps you'll settle for a drink instead. Got some mead from the coast on special, and it's not even that bad. Yes, I remember him. You'll want to speak to my boss, over at the bar.
Huh?
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger? We chatted a bit. He was a friendly sort, for a Grey Warden. Spent most of his nights here drinking. Wasn't ever loud or too forward. Haven't seen him for maybe a week now. Said he was tracking some darkspawn, one particular group that's been raiding outside the city. He told me they were acting strange, those darkspawn. Acting obvious, like they wanted to be caught or something. I expect he caught them. Probably why he hasn't been back, right? No, he took a lot of notes while he drank. Always writing things down. Maybe there's something in his room. We chatted, like I said. He's married, as I recall. My pleasure. Send him my best when you see him.
Rise up and take back power.
Of course. Very well.
I'll get on it.
I knew we could not lose!
Immediately.
Who do you think would win in a fight? Andraste or the Archdemon?
The Archdemon.
But Andraste could call on the Maker!
That would be cheating. Are you calling Andraste a dirty cheater?
She cheated on her husband, didn't she?
As you say.
I've thought about what you said, Anders. The comparison between my family and Mage's. It's idiotic. I'm not about to transform into an abomination simply for being a Howe.
I didn't say it was a perfect analogy.
Being a Howe also does not allow me to control your mind.
Kinda missing my point, aren't you?
I am not a fan of oversimplifications.
Fine, fine. Your loss.
Doors busted down, skulls thumped, and vices preyed upon. But I have answers. I could not unearth the conspirators' identities. They are paranoid. But I know they meet at Old Stark's farm on the Ferroval Plains. Make her be with you.
Yes.
It figures, actually. There used to be another statue here. It was a Byron Howe, my great-uncle. He died in the rebellion, helping King Merrick reclaim his throne. Yet his statue is gone. All because of what my father did. Don't bother. Nobody here will want to see it. There's a long line of heroes in my family. The Howes have been around since Callan had. Now it's all gone. Curse my father and his idiot ambition. He lost everything for us, didn't he? Not too much pressure, right? I wonder what happened to the old statue. Likely propping up the side of a chantry or something. Poor Al Byron. Yeah, statues of her pigeons. I don't want to look at it.
Oh, it is so good to see you, my friend. I contemplated visiting you at Vigil's Keep, but things got busy. The College of the Magi is convening in Cumberland, and I must attend. Hopefully, all this will blow over before it's begun. But you have enough on your mind as it is. I shan't trouble you with this further. Very well. Then perhaps you should know that something stirs within the fraternities. The libertarians wish to pull away entirely from the chantry. And if they get enough support...
Pull away entirely? That's madness. I hate chantry oversight as much as the next mage, but they can't just decide to leave. This is a recipe for disaster.
Well, it could turn out to be nothing, but keep your ear to the ground anyway. Now, I have a great many preparations to make before I leave for Navarra, but perhaps there is something you can do for me. One of my colleagues, Ines, has spent the last few months in the Wending Wood. The Circle has been unable to reach her, given the trouble in the area. If you happen to find yourself in the wood on your travels, perhaps you could tell her about the meeting of the college. Oh, who knows, rooting around in the dirt for some obscure plant or other, most likely. She has a keen interest in gardening. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant botany. Hobbies and eccentricities aside, Ines is a well-respected mage and a voice of reason, something we could use on our side. The hour is late and I must go. It was wonderful to see you again. Take care, my friend.
And the Maker wept for his beloved, and turned... once again from... all creation. All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings.
The Darkspawn was supposed to go away when the Archdemon died. In Amaranthine, it's worse than before.
May I help you? I am fortunate indeed that the Commander of the Grey has taken a personal interest in this matter. I'm sorry our note was vague, but Amaranthine is a hotbed of Maleficar activity. Details of who and what they were about would undoubtedly get back to them. Apostates and Maleficarum are all too common across the nation, alas. I have worked with an artist to create these sketches of the three suspects. If you could confront them and question them, you would be doing the Maker's work.
Waiting.
It's not like Karam to be gone this long. I was sure I would find him at the inn. We must follow the example of Andraste and reflect upon the chant of light. Your friends and neighbors would do well to heed this lesson and join us. Remember that you are an example to your lessons.
Of course.
I'll get on it.
It will be done. As you say. Very well.
Quite the dirty little dwarf, aren't you?
You're quite the dirty little mage.
I do my best. Still, I'm no ale-swilling mountain of belches like you.
And I'm no winking, slack-jawed coward like you.
True. We should form a club.
Lizard eyes? Perhaps a heart? Yes, heart's blood.
What? Oh, what?
Of course.
Never a dull moment!
It will be done. As you say.
I'll show you my naked.
Of course.
Templars, bloody everywhere. Must stay sharp. Templars, bloody everywhere. Must stay sharp. Templars, bloody everywhere. Must stay sharp.
You bloody
My favorite part!
Yes. Immediately.
Must keep calm, keep normal. Yes, everything is fine. Must keep calm, keep normal. Yes, everything is fine.
By the power in my blood, you will suffer for what you have done to my apprentice.
I'm at your command. I'll take care of it.
At your command. Very well. More foes approach! It will be done. You have forced my hand! Now you die! As you say. Very well. As you say.
My brother used to drink like you do, dwarf.
Fun fellow to have around then, your brother.
He could find a spot almost anywhere, and then he would vomit on your shoes.
Of course.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands, from the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Repent and have faith, and you shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
Of course.
I will pray for you, Commander.
He hung himself. Oh, Karen, why couldn't you have told me?